obstruction. A lot of confusion around these rules. I've got some very detailed documents that I shared with David, and he's gonna, I think, post them or send them out or something. Feel free to read them over. The one thing about baseball rules, there's a lot of rules that contradict themselves in one part of the rule book to another, or they don't fully cover one topic all the way through. You read it and you think you understand that rule, and then you look over here at a totally different place of the rule book and go, well, wait a minute. Oh, that goes with that. I don't know why they didn't just put it with that, but they don't always. So we'll talk a little bit about interference and obstruction. Does everyone know the difference between those two things? Can anyone tell me the difference between those two things? What's that? Right. One's on defense, one's on offense. One can only be on defense. Obstruction can only be a violation by the team on defense. An offensive team cannot commit obstruction. Interference, 99% of the time, is on the offense. Anybody know one kind of interference that can be on the defense? Catcher's interference. That's the one defensive interference. Everything else by the defense is obstruction, and by the offense is interference for the most part. So there's two kinds of obstruction. Now, for you high school players, this is different because the high school rule is different on obstruction than it is in pro ball or in little league or in even college, okay? There's two types of obstruction. First of all, let's talk about obstruction. Obstruction is a fielder not in possession of the ball that hinders or impedes the progress of a runner. Okay? That's the short, easy definition of obstruction. A fielder not in possession of the ball that hinders or impedes the progress of a runner. So one of the most common types of obstruction, guy hits a base hit, he rounds first base, first baseman's not paying attention, he's staring off into space, runner comes around, makes the turn and smacks into him. That is obstruction on the first baseman. Okay? I'm waiting for a tag play, again, at the pitcher's mound. I'm waiting for a tag to come in, I don't have the ball, runner comes in, I block the base, I get in his way, I'm guilty of obstruction. So why are there two types? There's live ball, or what's called a delayed dead ball obstruction, and there's a dead ball obstruction. Dead ball obstruction, I'll use this example. I'm blocking the base, right? So I'm obstructing the runner because I don't have the ball. Now I get the ball, but I've already committed obstruction and I tag the guy out. There's a play being made on that runner, right? That ball's dead immediately, so you immediately call time, that's obstruction, and you award the base. The other type of immediate dead ball obstruction is on a runner, batter runner, before he gets to first base. So if he's obstructed before he reaches first base, it's a dead ball. Any other time, it's what's called a delayed dead ball. So, for instance, on that play that I described where the runner rounds first and runs into the first baseman, if I'm this umpire, I'm just going to point it out. That's obstruction, but the play continues. Okay, I'm not going to kill the play because he might end up on third, right? My judgment is I'm calling obstruction because I'm also going to not let him get thrown out going back into first, and I'm probably not going to let him get thrown out at second either because he probably would have made it had he not been obstructed. Now, if he's out by 30 feet, we can ignore the obstruction because it didn't have an effect on the play. I know that's a lot, but yeah.
What if he's out at third on the close play?
Then don't refer to the obstruction.
Okay.
Unless you feel that, unless that first baseman tripped him and he stumbled for 5-10 feet and got up and tried to make it to third, but you only protect him on a delayed dead ball obstruction. You only protect that runner as far as you think he would have gotten had he not been obstructed. You're not going to grasp this today, so just study it, read it, but I don't want to overwhelm you with minutia, but that's the 10,000 foot view of obstruction. Does that kind of make some sense? Obstruction, Fielder without the ball impedes the progress of a runner. You can have verbal obstruction. You can also have a fake tag considered obstruction. So, ball's in the outfield, guy's trying to stretch a single into a double. I'm the shortstop. I throw a fake tag, I don't have the ball, you can call obstruction on that. You can give him third base if you want. Or at least protect him from being thrown out at second base. Okay? Interference. There's a lot of types of interference. One of the most common ones you're going to see, and when you go through the sheet, you'll see different types of interference, from coach's interference, runner interference, batter interference, spectator interference, which we don't have a lot of in Little League, but it will happen. So one of the most common interferences that you will see is the ball's hit and it touches the runner before a fielder can get to it. That's interference. That's runner interference. Most interference is immediately a dead ball. Okay, so unlike that automatic tag play where the ball is live, most interference is automatically a dead ball. And then it will have its penalty. Every interference call has a penalty that will go with it. Another one you'll see a lot is batter interference, where the runner's stealing, the catcher goes to make a throw, and the batter, maybe comes across the plate or otherwise impedes the catcher from making a throw. That's interference on the batter. Okay? That's one where if he goes ahead and makes the throw and the throw gets him out, he's out and you don't have to revisit the interference. If he's safe, now the batter's out for interference. So there's a lot of nuance to obstruction and interference.
John, batter is out and runner returns to first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
John, can you just on the most basic of runner at first, where the fielder is, where the runner is, just how they avoid each other, and when it's obstruction, when it's interference, as the ball.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So if you're my first baseman, I'll be the runner. I get a base hit. He's watching my ball that I hit instead of paying attention. I'm rounding. I'm heading for second. Even if I don't touch him, see how I had to kind of go around him, or he was in my way? That's obstruction. He's impeded a runner's progress. Is that what you mean?
I mean, batted ball, runner at first, hit to the second baseman.
Okay.
Who's avoiding who, and who?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is another one that could get real. It's in the documents that we'll post. It can get really, really dicey, and but I think what you're saying is, when is it okay for a runner to be touched by a batted ball, right? So let's say the infield's playing in. I'm the second baseman. Ball's hit to me, goes between my legs, then hits the runner running to second base behind me. Is he out? Is the runner out? You got him out. Who has him out? Okay, he's not out because the fielder had a chance to make the play. Unless there's another fielder behind him that could still make a play, which on that particular one is an infielder that could still make a play. That's umpire judgment, okay? You would see it more on two fielders converging. If the ball was here and the first baseman and the second baseman were coming together, you could protect one of them, but not both. So I'll just show you what it would look like with a runner on first base, ground ball that hits the runner before it passes or touches a fielder. Now, if it touches any fielder, including the pitcher, he's not out either. Okay? So I'll give you that call. Runner running from first to second, ground ball or even a line shot that hits the runner on the foot. Okay? Time! That's interference. He's out. Batter gets first base. Okay? So the first thing you do is call time, kill the play, point to the interference. That's interference. He's out. Batter, first base. Okay? The batter's awarded first base. Same thing if it hits you as an umpire. Okay? I'm in here. except there's nobody out. But the ball's dead and the batter gets first base. So I'm in here as an umpire. I get one of these like sinker ball kind of line drives, and I'm like, and I try to get out of the way. Hits me on the leg. Time. That's interference. Batter, first base. Anybody that's forced to advance advances. If not, if there's a runner on third, he doesn't get to go. Only if he's forced. Obstruction. So let's say, Joe, you want to be a shortstop covering second base.
Sure.
Dave, you want to be a runner coming to second base. So this would be a delayed dead ball obstruction. So kind of get in his way, but don't stop him. So I'm watching it. Yeah, you're going to run and keep going to third. That's obstruction. Okay, so I've called the obstruction, but I'm not killing the play because if he wants, he can still go to third. Now let's do it again, but now there's a tag play at second base. So Joe, come off the bag a little bit, bump into him, socially distance properly. That's obstruction. Now all of a sudden Joe has the ball. Ball came in, now there's a play on. Time! That's obstruction. You, second base. Or if you thought he would have got third, time! That's obstruction. You, third base. Okay? The runner ahead of him can advance. You can push the runner depending on the offense. But you got to use your judgment. Likely if there was an obstruction with a play where it was an automatic dead ball like I just showed you, if there was a runner on third that you could move up, he probably wasn't going to go to third because there was a runner already there. So common sense would say you award him second base without the liability to be put out. Okay? It sound like just Greek to everyone?
Big shot.
Yeah.
What about, I think maybe what David is asking as well is sort of the right of way question.
Yes.
That is,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't answer your question.
No,
at all.
that was
Okay.
still good. It's still good.
second
Still good.
baseman,
Okay.
and so who's got the right of way?
Okay. So, the question was about right away, and again, the document will go into detail, and it depends on your level of baseball what rules code you're following. Some rules codes allow for what's called an imminent play, meaning I'm here, the ball is on its way to me, and the runner's coming in. I'm here because I'm making an imminent play. Little League does not, I believe, recognize that. So you either have the ball or you don't, okay? So if I'm here and I'm waiting for the ball, it's almost to me, I can still be guilty of obstruction. In professional baseball, for instance, if there's an imminent play, I have a little bit of right to this base. It sort of bleeds into the automatic tag play. It's all judgment. It's all how you see the play. And let me give you an example. If this is the back end of second base or the front end of second base, and this is the whole base, and there's a steal play at second, and I'm the shortstop. If I come in, the easy one is I get the ball, the runner's not there yet, he's out, right? That's what we learned today in the COVID rules. But what about if the throw takes me over here? I have the ball, I'm near the bag. Are you going to call the runner out? It's your judgment. Do you think he would have otherwise been out on a throw over here? Didn't call him out. Another one. Shortstop covering, second base backs him up. Skips off his glove, and now the second baseman gets the overthrow. I have the ball. I'm near the bag. Are you calling him out? So that's kind of what you have to think about. Personally, I'm not because that was a terrible throw, right? So it's not obvious that he would have been out under normal circumstances because the throw skimmed off the guy's glove. Very similar to, you guys remember the play in the World Series? I think it was Trey Turner, the runner's lane interference play. You know what I'm talking about? The 3-foot lane. There's certain rules in baseball where the quality of the throw plays a factor in the decision that the umpire makes. So, what else?
Well, the last one, because I think does come up in green now and again, is that slow roller to second base. The second baseman's trying to field it. The runner comes by
not charging the ball.
So who's got the right of way there?
The act of fielding the ball. The act of fielding the ball is what James is asking about. When am I in the act of fielding a ball, right? If I'm sitting here and I'm the second baseman, I'm waiting, and the runner runs in front of me, has he committed interference? Again, it's a judgment call. Or what if the ball hits his glove and rolls off, and he's got to go 2 steps to get it, and then he interferes? What do we got? Dylan, what do we got there? I'm the second baseman. Runner's running to second base by me. I'm the second baseman, hits the palm of my glove, rolls up. I come up to pick up the ball that I just booted, and the runner runs into me.
That'd be a dead ball, and you have the right to go to the ball since it hit off your glove. And if he runs into you and then knocks you out, he is technically out.
Okay, so that's, in Dylan's judgment, the play as I described it is interference. I might say that he booted the ball, so he touched it. It all depends on the play. The guideline for that is a step and a reach. So if I boot the ball and I can still step and reach to get it, I'm still in the act of fielding the ball. And you should still protect that fielder. If I boot the ball and it goes 3 feet over there and somebody runs into him, that's nothing. In fact, it could be what? Obstruction. Because now it's a fielder without possession of the ball, hindering or impeding the progress of a runner. So it's really...
Let's do the scenario that James actually asked, which is you're fielding. I would say, all right, we'll give you a new one. You're down, you're fielding the ball, you're not charging it, and you didn't boot it, but you're waiting for it, and now you're just running. You're still waiting for it, and I run into him. He didn't get it yet, but it's on his way to him, and he's almost there, which is much more common in like the 2nd and 3rd grade. What is it then?
What do we got? Got to be loud when you're umpire, especially this year. Through a mask, behind everyone. What do we got? It's one of 2 things. One of 3 things. It's interference. Because like Joe said, I'm down here, I have a right to field the ball. And if the ball hasn't gotten to me yet, just because I'm a bad second baseman or a young second baseman and I didn't charge the ball, I'm still in the act of fielding because the ball hasn't gotten to me yet. So that runner cannot run into me. So in that case, the fielder has the right of way. Okay? And if contact is made, or contact isn't made, but it disrupts the fielder from fielding the ball, then you've got interference in the batter's zone.
And then can I say, and conversely, if he's not fielding in that same similar position, then it's obstruction.
Yeah, if he's just hanging out here and the ball's hit to the third baseman and the second baseman's hanging out like this and he gets in his way, now you could get into malicious contact and a whole different side road. But yeah, that's is it, James, did I is that the answer? The right away you're kind of talking about?
That was it. It comes up in green now and again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you hear that, guys? Guys doing green, you're gonna get that one a lot. Guy in the right fielding the ball. And by the way, both sides, even though they're not supposed to, are gonna go nuts, no matter what you call. Okay? Because that side is gonna say, well, he has a right to run the bases. And that side's gonna say, he has a right to field the ball. You gotta give him an area to field the ball. You gotta give him a chance. So it's best that you know the rule, and then you don't have to worry about any of that stuff.